Um, right. So welcome everyone. So today we're going to talk about dev grants and how the community can participate to it. So we're going to go through what is a dev grant, how it works, and how can any one of the community developers apply to receive a share of the dev grants, right? So to begin, um, dev grant, as we have on our site, hummingbot.org, basically it means that it's a budget there where token holders for HBot can vote to fund a specific aspect of the development of the Hummingbot client, right? So any work that any work and code that developers want to submit into the Hummingbot client repository, if there is a dev grant open and approved by the rest of the community, they can also request the participation of that dev grant, so he will be able to receive HBOT tokens for his contribution, right? Uh, so dev grant, the main purpose here is that uh, we want to use the treasury that we have, the foundation have. Mostly, currently we only on HBOT tokens, and the goal is to incentivize the improvement of the code base, right? So the community can build the best trading tool as possible. So that's the whole point of providing these dev grants and allocating HBOT tokens to it. Uh, so the thing is that dev grants should be aimed when they are created as a proposal to cover well-defined code-based improvements, right? So currently we have one dev grant approved that's I don't remember the word correctly, but this dev grant is to reward developers that create new strategies or improve existing strategies, right? So the idea is that all dev grants have a range of improvements that like areas that this specific budget is being allocated. And the process of a dev grant is a three-part process, three-step, right? So what happens is that when the whole three steps starts with the Humbot governance proposal, right? So it's where the budget is allocated for the dev grant, right? So the one that I mentioned that is approved, the creation improvement of Humbot client strategies. So you can see it on the snapshot page, the full details, but basically the idea is that we are allocating 1 million HBOT tokens to developers that contribute to the code base with new strategies or improving existing strategies, right? So this is already approved. So we have this budget already allocated for this dev grant. And the next step now is that where the rest of the community and developers enter this process uh, by creating the Humbot improvement proposals, right? Specifying what is the improvement, the new strategy they want to create, and important that there is a link to the dev approved governance proposal where the budget is allocated, and if possible, any other extra information related to this dev grant request, right? So uh, if you are a developer and you have an objective and you have an idea, you can create this Humbot improvement proposal with your idea and how you're going to implement it. And also, it's expected that you add the the details. What's your GitHub handle? What's your Ethereum wallet address where you want to receive the reward? And so once it is approved and the code is implemented, you can properly receive the reward, right? So what happened is that after this Humbot improvement proposal is approved by the community, right? The votes go through. We have the whole process, and we have the minimum quorum and the approval amount of votes approving this proposal is more than 50%, then the developer can go and create the pull request, right? And he creates the pull request to the development branch. And once this pull request, along with a pull request proposal, and once this pull request proposal is approved, the code that's being submitted is merged into the development branch, and the developer will receive the respective uh, reward that he requested for it, right? One small detail is that if you're not developer, but there is a specific solution that you would like to see be implemented into the Hummingbot token, you can also create improvement proposal requesting funds or rewards from that dev grant that was approved, from that budget, right? So in that case, for example, the one that created this proposal, that's the only one that we have active on the snapshot page. He's not developer, he's not the one that's going to be implementing this. So his proposal is that he expected that this work to be executed in 3 days. So he estimated reward for to completing this improvement will be 60K HBOT tokens. So, and developers can go take this and create a pull request proposal linking to this improvement proposal once it's approved, right? And then collect the 60K reward from it. So important thing is that when we're talking about the dev grant, the whole process is that PRs that want to be added to the main code base to the eventually to a release of the Hummingbot token, it must be created targeting the development branch, right? Because this is the process that we follow, where all pull requests go into development branch at the end of the month, and then after we have the QA and we have the community testing and looking into the code that's been submitted into the development branch, and then we have a cutoff date where all pull request proposals that have been approved on the previous month will be moved into the staging branch, that this is going to be the release candidate. And from there, we're going to go into bug fixes and testings and to make sure that a new release is good enough to be added as to the is good enough to be deployed to all the proper channels, to all the proper installations, Docker and source, right? And just remind about the schedule of each release, right? So what happened here is that on each month, we have a cutoff date where the pull request proposals that wants to be on the release candidate will be that were approved before the cutoff date. That's the last date of the month. For example, to be added on the candidate A, let's say at the end of month one, anything that was approved before the end of the month will go into the release candidate, right? And then on the second month, what happened is that QA start to merge the approved proposals, and new proposals can be created to be added to the candidate B release, and we have this cycle, right, of 2 months of between uh, pull requests being merged and a release actually happen, right? And this is just we have this on our documentation page. This is just highlight a wide view of how the sorry, for how the developer grants work. So as I mentioned, it starts with a governance proposal that allocates the budget. Then the community creates the improvement proposals where they define what's the solution they want to implement it, or what's the solution that the developer itself will implement it. And then this becomes a pull request proposal that needs to be created. And once the pull request proposal is created, is approved, and the codes merge into development, the developer that create the solution will receive the reward, right? And then here comes the question: if I'm not developer, how can I contribute to these developer grants? So one of the things, like I mentioned, you can create improvement proposal itself, right? So where you want to, what's the describing the feature that you want to see added, what's the reward that want to be paid to the developer, And another ways is that this also works for developers that are looking for ideas, right? So you can go to the CoinAlpha forum, create a thread, and start to look for developers to implement your idea and discuss with the rest of the community about that idea. You can also go into the GitHub page where we have the issues. We have a lot of issues where the community is asking for one specific strategy. So if you're not developer, you can go into the issues, create a ticket, and describe what type of strategy you want to see or what improvement you want to see on the existing strategies. And developers can go into the GitHub page issues and look for ideas to participate into that grant, right? So there is a lot of that. Uh, Currently, the last time I saw, there was 38 open issues with related to new strategies or improvement strategies. So there's a lot of ideas out there for developers to start creating requesting this reward from the dev grants. Sorry, when it came back. And also we have Discord where everyone is right now, so you can always go into Discord and try to find a developer to create the idea that once in you guys can work together to provide a solution and implementation to it and create a proposal for the rest of the community. Right. So before we end, just a reminder that the developer grants and every governance proposal that have a budget allocated to it works through epochs, right? So every year we have two epochs. It's a 5-month period where we the foundation establish goals of HBOT distribution and what's the general goal of how where we want to where we want to allocate this distribution in the best way that improves the whole ecosystem that we have, right? And each epoch takes 5 months with 1 month between them where we do evaluation of what happened into the epoch and create the plan for the next epoch, right? And so currently we are on the epoch one where we have 30 million tokens that are expected to be distributed until the end of May 31. And the foundation set these goals where we have 15 million to be distributed through liquidity distributions that include in the mining platform. So dev grant budgets, we want to allocate 10 million tokens into various dev grant bounties. Currently, we have the we have the strategy improvement and creation. We have that's approved. We have now been voted a few more grants like the Solana X system DEX integration and also the initiative that currently is another topic. I can come back later to talk a bit more about it, right? So yeah, that's the general idea of how dev grants work. I know that this is as an initial iteration. We might still have some initial adjustments to do. So we also hope that the community give us feedback about the whole process, so on each epoch we can make it better and better and uh, improve the code base as much as possible to make this project the best trading client in free and open source that exists related to cryptocurrency markets, right? So yeah, that's the basic of it. So um, let me just close the recording so I can make this as a YouTube video for uh, posterior, and then we can open up to anyone that wants to comment or ask questions, anything related to dev grants, right?